good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy with good people in good places, doing good things. Let me see. This is Divine Masculine reading. Let me see. Okay. But I didn't pull yet, so have some notes. I'll do a Divine Feminine reading right after this, so it's kind of like the Emperor Empress reading, and so on and so forth. But that's the energy. So for Divine Masculine, this is right now through the new moon, because we're having a new moon come in, and that new moon is going to be in Aquarius, and it's kind of like this energy of coexistence is what I have here in my notes. So this is basically like in the next, it's less than 2 weeks away. I didn't realize that until this morning. I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's not that far away. As my daughter has recently learned, right around the corner. She was trying to figure out stuff. I was like, it's right around the corner. This is right around the corner. Won't let me back into my live now. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, Divine Masculine is adjusting and open to experimental results. Maybe testing out some theories or some ways of thinking, or, addressing some things, situations, people, places, and things in their life. So what is Divine Masculine adjusting and open to, or experimenting with? Wow, interesting. It looks like maybe even some energy, like Divine Masculine may be experimenting with the energy of being monogamous. That's what I'm seeing here. Or maybe even understanding the Divine Feminine can't be, I want to say bought is what I'm hearing here, but in addition to that, there's also this energy that's so funny to me. But in addition to that, also realizing that she can't, like, you cannot do spell work. Like, there's no trickery that can be done with your real Divine Feminine. You can't convince her about something that isn't her true nature. So if any like tricks or like testing of Divine Feminine has taken place by Divine Masculine, and that's what I'm seeing here. It didn't like, it worked with respect to, like, did she notice it? Did the frequency match? And this is the new person, like, this is new energy that Divine Masculine is considering. This is not an old energy. It's wild here because it matches this, right? So this came out in the upright. So it's something to do with, like, the freaky nature. Give me a second. My nose is running. Had to catch it. Okay, there's something to do with, like, the sexual energy, for lack of a better word, because you saw what that is. That's a brothel, massage room, blah, blah, blah. But it's like the Five of Pentacles, but in reverse, right? So it's like the Divine Masculine doesn't have to do spell work, and he's realizing that, like, that the Divine Feminine actually just has the, why did I jump all high on my tiptoes? Like, she can reach the heights. I don't know. There's something about that. Best and fresh. You know what? I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Sidebar here real quick, but it is really hard to find a good sausage. Have you had, like, a sausage with, like, a nice good casing where when you bite into it, it snaps? You know what I mean? And it's all beef. You know what I mean? Like, that's really hard to find. That may be significant too. How divine masculine is starting to consider himself now, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't have to do so much. Yeah. So just knowing that, like, you don't have to do a lot. You don't have to, put on airs. Like, you're just naturally and organically just are this person. That's what I feel like too. Like, you're seeing all these things around you, but like, you don't have to do any more tricks to receive what you want. Yeah. Or maybe you've cleaned up that act or something like that. Yeah, because it's like the best in town. Like, you found something that goes well with the best sausage. This is so funny. I had a feeling it was going to be. So that's maybe what the open to experimental results and testing is, to see, like, okay, does that fried calamari go well with this sausage? Like, just testing it out. And I feel like, so there's this thing where divine masculine has no expectations, right? Because that's the best way to move forward with things. But divine masculine also has maybe some, like, foresight, if you will. Because it's like there's something of a nature of, like, this has been, the deeper meaning of it again. Like, if it has a deeper meaning, it will be obvious, right? So okay. Sorry, I had to get that person out of here. I don't play this. Trucker, I don't play those games. Okay. So essentially, that's what I'm seeing here. So you're moving into this energy of being able to progress and see and test. There's this checking the temperature, making sure things are precise. Because, if you think about it, like, if you're getting on, and let's say you're taking an aircraft, right? Because this is what this is being compared to in this instance, right? Here on this card. So if you're thinking about it, it takes a lot, right? There takes a lot of practice and things like that to really get it to launch, and then to go where it needs to go, and then to even bring it back, right? The whole life experience is pretty much experimental, correct? And I think there's a part of understanding and knowing that too, that helps you to be free from certain dimensions or constrictions or restrictions, etc., right? And so in this instance, I'm sorry, there's a lot of chatter in these comments today, and I mean, rightfully so. Like, ignorance is bliss, right? So there are people all over the world feeling like today's the day. But anyway, there's this huge instinct energy as well. So let me get another, like, that measure twice, cut once, right? That's the energy. Measure twice, cut once. Ooh, yeah. And being very precise, I feel like you've already done all the cleaning. You've already measured twice. You're ready to cut now, so to speak. Yeah. And it's this whole energy of between the 22nd through the 24th of being very careful to follow your instincts and your intuition during that time frame. There's this energy of spontaneity. Like, even if it's like love is spontaneity. So even if it's love for yourself. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. King of Cups came right out. So even if it's love for self, right? So making sure that maybe like if you haven't, if you're not the type of guy to go and get a pedicure, that you go and get a pedicure. You make sure you're well groomed, just doing all of these different things to really make an action towards oneself in the energy of love to bring in, everything that you really want. Maybe like on a day off, you're taking yourself on a date, maybe on the 27th or something like that. Or like other things that were suggested were hiking, the gym, or like taking a martial arts class. So like capoeira or something like that, jujitsu, something like that, right? To try to change your energy, change your vibration, get that laboratory, that whole experimental results. Yeah, this looks really good. It's matching up really well with what I'm seeing too. There's something also about with this, like the depth, the height, and the width, because you need those type of investments. You need the depth, the height, and the width of yourself, right? So you need to think about like how deep you want to go, how high you want to go, and how far you want to reach with respect to what it is that you're doing. Thank you. Because all of these people, these dumbasses in the comments were really pissing me off. My apologies for cursing, but it's so annoying when people, you're trying to do something important and they're in here doing all the unimportant things, right? Okay, so that's what you're doing right now. And that's what that depth, height, and width is about. Okay. I feel like there's this yummy part to understand on why following your instincts is important during the 22nd to the 24th. So day off, date with self, trying something that you want to do. Yeah. So this is the three of swords. It's kind of like making, it's almost kind of like, you may feel in that moment when you do this, Divine Masculine, like you're wearing your heartache on like right in front of you, because you saw where the car popped, right? Of all places. So you may feel like you're walking around with like the heartache, or maybe that's how you felt. And what will happen is that when you reach whatever, like when you follow your instincts between the 22nd through the 24th on making whatever decision, that's what's going to change that energy. Like you'll no longer be wearing it right here. It won't be a part of something that you feel as though other people see. And that's the only right reason why people see it or feel it is because you think that they do. Maybe that's something you're going to be testing over the next few weeks, is not wearing that. Being in this reparative energy, not wearing, whatever heartache, really living as though the next person that you meet and encounter. Well, that was definitely something I got for Divine Feminine, but I didn't know that Divine Masculine was going to encourage that energy too. But it's kind of like, even though you may know your person, even though you may have someone in mind, but the way to be really open with love is to be free to meet people. So it's kind of like that. It's okay to play footsies. Ooh, this is a kind of truth energy. It's okay to kind of look at people and go, ooh, that's kind of the look I would want my Divine Feminine hat to have. Or, ooh, that's the kind of, look I would want my Divine Masculine to have. So those are very important energies to embrace right now. Over the next few weeks, because it's kind of like you really putting together this picture to the universe about what you want in a person. Depth, height, width, how deeply do I want them to know me, to understand me, to love me, to this, to that? How, far in my aspirations and my goals and my dreams, do I want my person to support me? Because these are things that I don't think people necessarily consider or think about or even ask for. And then also like why do I want this to be reached by other people? Like what responsibility do I want from myself, right? Because you're getting all these things. So this is the width, is like, where do you reach to? How are you sharing the truth? How are you helping to expand this knowledge, this craft, if you will, right? Which is the knowledge of self, right? This huge knowledge of self, right? You're out here as the King of Cups, you already came out as the Emperor. My nose is itching big time. Okay, I'm going to use a different deck because I feel like this is now we're getting to this yummy part. How love is spontaneity. So like even loving self is spontaneity. So like picking up the phone and calling the jujitsu place and booking the class and finding out when the lessons are, or certain gym. Like these are just things, even if it's like things to do without money too, because sometimes that is the obstacle that people think they have and don't know how to remove themselves from it, right? Their relationship with money, the lack mindset. So I don't know, if you're watching this, you could watch a video of it and start to practice on your own, right? I mean, let's get creative. If you have enough space and opportunity and, free will to be looking at this, then you could probably do that, right? Like not making any excuses, because you have all the power within yourself to create the environment that you want to, no matter where you are. It's that whole mindset. I don't know if you watched any of my past videos. I was talking about how I used to go and drop off food to the homeless people that I would walk past when I lived in Santa Monica. And there was the one that I was asking him which cookie did he want. He said to surprise him. This is a homeless man asking for a surprise with respect to cookies. You would think that, I don't know, the element of surprise might be even removed, but it's like that's what's happening right now, is that element of surprise has already presented itself to Divine Masculine, and it's now just about you actually putting in the framework for what you want, because it is literally whatever you want, however big you want it to be, however tall you want it to be, depth, height, width. And it also has something to do with cycles and life being cyclical, like things repeat themselves, right? Fashion, stuff, this is the next, so-and-so, this is the next, this and that. Things repeat themselves too, right? But I feel like everybody has their own special place, and Divine Masculine, you've crafted something for yourself where the capacity is larger than most that have, your predecessors. So it's like, oh, that was the other download. So like with Einstein, right? Einstein, we know Einstein, right? We didn't know about his dad, who was a great inventor, right? Did you? It's like the whole put it on the map kind of energy. That's where Divine Masculine is. You're in an energy of, oh, wow, look, I just split the deck. You're in this Hierophant Sun energy. So you're really being enlightened to, your full capability and what you're being called to do, how much weight, how much power, all of these things. And it's really huge, right? Because you get to create it for yourself, and it's as big as you want to imagine it. It's as big as you want to allow it to be. It's instinctually how far your limits are with respect to what you can create for yourself, right? Top of the world. Ooh, look at that. Another awesome card on just a split. Ooh, and the Hermit, because you've done all this work. That I was so pleased when I really understood 1818 on the clock, when I realized what the Hermit card, like where the lotus flower actually was, and what this Hermit card like represented. It's really like you had to walk in this, and it's murky, it's dark in there, right? But that's where the lotus flower lives, right? It's also kind of like seeing the truth in everything too, understanding and being able to keep yourself, tethered to what you really wanted, like your highest self, because that's without the journey, right? It's you against you, right? That song, what is the song that's coming to my head? Don't turn me back into the old me. Yeah. And this, oh wow, this is funny because this is the extra card in this deck, and I still have not found out the meaning. And I feel like it kind of speaks for itself, right? This whole fortune cookie energy. Again, imagine if you could, a fortune cookie where you put in what's in there, and then you were just told on such and such day you get to open it. And now you're remembering everything, because this is not, that's okay. Because I kept getting this retrograde energy, and I was like, it's not really retrograde. What is this? What is this? It's not remembering either. It's the, hold on a second. The inventor, Einstein, predecessors. I don't know. Okay. I'll have to come back to it. Maybe I'll put a note in the comments somewhere. But this, what the fortune energy. Okay, so this next part, because I feel like that's super huge, like that part. And maybe, you know, sometimes I have to just sit with stuff because then there's even more to like dive into. Maybe that will be what I'll present prior to the 20. Ooh, yeah. Prior to the 22nd. Because it's going to be essentially what I also got as a download is like, once it's in the reading, you know that people are going to try to, you know, go against it, right? So just because of the exposure, nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't really change anything. It just can cause for the potential of distractions, just like I was distracted from what I was saying, right? So this Nine of Swords energy is very much giving me like a release of all worries and guilt and anguish, like anything that you may have felt guilty for, anything that may have, you know, made you feel any type of anguish or you were worried about or concerns. Like you have to let go of all of those. Like you need to see the fruition of everything. Because if you think about it, like chilies are important too, right? Because that's how we make chili powder. And it's good to have a little spice in your food, right? It's also a part of like the spice cleansing. So if you want to think about it like that, like, oh yeah, maybe some of this stuff is irritating or whatever because of the cleansing process, because that card came out here quite a few times. So I think maybe this next phase of, because it's not a retrograde, it's a something. It's not like recycling. Because this period is when you see results. Routines are being highly focused on, especially over the next 2 weeks. Okay, so that's what it is. The routines are in place to help the trajectory. Okay, so that's why you're putting routines in place right now, Divine Masculine, is to help keep the trajectory in the position that you want it in. Because of the you know, it just takes a lot of like, it takes a lot of power. It takes a lot of decisiveness. There's no room for indecision. If that could be, I think that's the hardest one to press home, because this card represents indecision. There's no room for this. And I know you heard me say like the chili powder, the chili pepper, but I feel like in this instance, it's kind of like, okay, enjoy the chili powder and the chili pepper, or get used to the level, the Scoville level. Yeah, get used to the Scoville level while you're approaching the 22nd and 23rd. Acknowledge acknowledge the Scoville level of whatever happens at this table when these glasses clink. That's what's going to be happening. A lot of people are going to want you to fear that, but this year is all about facing your fears, Divine Masculine. You have all these unnecessary fears is what I feel like in this instance. Let me hurry up and get out of this reading, get to Divine Feminine. So nobody feels like I'm like trying to harp. Six of Pentacles. I like it. I feel like you're in this great place of having all the resources and knowledge. Like, look at this balanced. And it's balanced things of the same, too. Again, it's that whole matching. Like, the up and down go together. They're opposites, but they go together, correct? Because they're opposites of a pair. And that's what you're finding. Opposites of a pair. Maybe if you're, you know, just a shoe collector, maybe you're going to find that pair. But that's what I'm seeing, you know, and it's the spontaneity. It's being able to recognize, oh, wow. Like, oh, once you put it on the scale and you see that it is, you know, oh, wait, okay. Like, oh, yeah, this is the same cake, only lighter or only denser. That's the kind of energy that I'm seeing here. And I'm getting like this took place in a bakery. So everything else has been weighed on that scale. Everything else has been put up. But they said, okay, let's put something just like it, but not quite it. That may have something to do with Divine Feminine and her understanding her place or something like that, but also marking territory. So, interesting. There's also some energy of like a dressmaker too. That's divine masculines though. It's literally like a part of that whole like depth, height, and width. Okay, let's see. What's the energy of the dressmaker? What's this dressmaker energy for divine masculine? I was told to get a different deck. Dressmaker energy for divine masculine. And I feel like if you're afraid of the words, then you're afraid of, you know, that's your fear kind of creeping up. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid. That's the whole thing. Facing your fears. You have to face your fears in order to get the things you want in life. And from my understanding, like it's always been that. Look, whatever you see this to be, that's what the dressmaker energy is tailoring for you. That's what's being tailor made. Your complete justice, however you see that. And if you are like, yeah, but I see everything, that's what it is. If you got about 4 things on the table to somebody else's 2, that's what you get. You get your 4. You might even get there 2 just because. I don't know. That's just the energy that it's been bringing lately. Because justice, you know, justice makes sure that all the scales are balanced, right? It doesn't miss a scale. It's weighing it out against, it's measuring it out against all others, right? So I feel like this is quite obvious. So I feel like this is like final work towards, you know, complete joy for, or I don't know, I feel like there's this huge accomplishment level. I keep wanting to be taller than I am. You know, I want to be tall too. And I feel like that's how people are going to see divine masculine. They're going to be like, dang, you're going to be somebody that like, if people look up to you, they're going to look up to you even more. It's literally going to be like shrinking in your presence almost, if it isn't already. And if you feel like, dang, that's already where we're at, well, prepare. You know, again, depth, height, and width. How far, how high, how wide. Give us something else for that. Give us something else for the preciseness of it, because that's the word that's out here. Thank you. Okay. It's like precise preparation. I feel like you've had that. Let's confirm. Tell us more about the precise preparation. This is interesting. Precise preparation. Precise preparation. What is the precise preparation? Ooh. Standing ground to all, yeah, that was precise, yeah. Standing ground to all opposition, like being able to notice what was weighing you down. Excuse me. What was weighing you down, what was causing issues, what was standing in your way of really being in your complete power. Wow. I like it. So all of that work, you know, was warranted, you know, all of the burdens, all of the things. Nice. I really like this. And I feel like this is what you can confirm for yourself is always going to be seen by your divine feminine, which is what makes you consistently and, you know, like, I don't know, makes you attractive, alluring, you know, everything that makes an emperor the emperor, you know, that as long as she continues to see you that way, that's how you exist too, and vice versa. And that's also a reason that you guys are so devoted to self, but then each other. It's kind of like, okay, me and you, and me and you, because I can't be with you if I'm not here first. So that's why me always comes first. And that's what both of the two understand. And that's why the things work so well. Imagine me and you and me. That song was definitely part of a download. Yeah, it keeps the attraction. You know what I mean? Oh, look, right behind it. This is too funny. Yeah, that's also a part of it too. Ooh, I think this is so awesome. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, I can't say we've already seen that you've been preparing. You know, you've done what you needed to do. It's now this measuring tool that keeps coming out. This how deep, how high, and how wide. Okay, so that's definitely the message for the Divine Masculines reading, the Emperor's. How deep, how far, how wide. It's somewhere in here. It's down here somewhere. Okay. All right, I hope this has been helpful and insightful in one way or another, shape or form. And I will catch you on the next one. I'm going now to do the Divine Feminines reading because that's a part of it too. All right, later.